Jesus has the glory of God. Prove me wrong. If Jesus isn't God, why does he claim to have the same eternal glory as the Father? Why does he say he had this glory before the world even existed? If Jesus was just a man, how could this be true? Stay with me. You'll want to hear this. The night was heavy with silence. The disciples sat together, their faces filled with uncertainty. The air was thick with tension. Jesus had just told them he was leaving. "Little children, yet a little while I am with you. You will seek me, but where I am going, you cannot come." A deep sorrow settled over them. Peter leaned forward. "Lord, why can't I follow you now? I will lay down my life for you." Jesus looked at him with sadness. "Will you lay down your life for me? Before the rooster crows, you will deny me 3 times. Peter's heart sank. But Jesus didn't leave them without hope. He spoke of the Father's house, of preparing a place for them, of returning for them. Yet one question lingered in their minds. Who truly was Jesus? Philip finally asked. "Lord, show us the Father, and it will be enough for us." Jesus turned to him with a piercing gaze. "Have I been with you so long, and you still do not know me, Philip? He who has seen me has seen the Father. How can you say, 'Show us the Father'?" The disciples were stunned, the prayer that changes everything. After sharing a final meal, Jesus led them to a quiet place. The stars above burned brightly, the night air cool. And then, in one of the most profound moments in history, Jesus lifted his eyes toward heaven and prayed. "Father, the hour has come. Glorify your Son, that your Son may glorify you." The disciples listened, their hearts hanging on every word. But then Jesus said something that shook them to the core. "And now, O Father, glorify me with your own self, with the glory which I had with you before the world was." Silence. Did they hear him correctly? Jesus had just claimed to have shared in God's glory before creation itself. This was no ordinary request. The scriptures were clear. God does not share his glory with anyone. Yet Jesus asked the Father to restore to him the same eternal glory they had shared before time began. How could a mere man say this? Jesus continued, "Father, I have manifested your name to those you have given me. They were yours, and you gave them to me. Now they know that everything you have given me is from you." He prayed for his disciples. He prayed for all who would believe in him. But his words left no doubt. Jesus was claiming to have existed with God before the world began. The challenge to skeptics. Here's the challenge. If Jesus isn't God, explain this. The Old Testament is clear. God will not share his glory with anyone. Yet Jesus said he had that same divine glory before creation. How could a mere prophet claim to have been with God before time? How could a created being pray to receive eternal glory, the very thing that belongs to God alone? The religious leaders knew what Jesus was saying. That's why they wanted him dead. If Jesus isn't God, prove me wrong. Closing and call to action. Jesus wasn't just a teacher. He wasn't just a prophet. He claimed to have eternal glory with the Father before the world existed. The question is, do you believe him? If you believe Jesus is God, type "Jesus is Lord" in the comments. If you don't, explain this passage. Want more powerful Bible truths? Like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs to hear it. Jesus has the glory of God. What will you do with that truth?